I'm gonna break down an offensive scheme that dominates in the passing game with unique route concepts, and a running game that's super fun to run and hard to stop. Let's get into it. To start, we need to have our audibles set, because we will be audibling down between two different formations, tight open and trio halfback weak in the Chiefs playbook. Audibling down just means that you're changing the formation pre-snap by pressing X or square, then right or left on the D-pad, which changes the formation. This will constantly make the defense have to adjust to your offense on the fly. Now here are the audibles for each formation that we're going to go over. In the trio halfback weak formation, all you need to do is make sure you have the RPO alert bubble in the audibles. Then for the tight open, you want slot post, bench Z spot, read option, and speed option. So to start the offense, you want to come out an RPO alert bubble in the trio halfback weak formation. This play is extremely tough to stop, as you can either throw the ball to the bubble or hand the ball off for an outside run. Now the reads in this play are very simple. You want to understand number advantages by counting the ratio between the amount of players you have on the trip side and how many defenders are lined up over the receivers. In this play, you will see that there are only 2 defenders lined up over the 2 outside wide receivers, and the only defenders that will be able to make a play on the ball is the safety, who is 12 yards away, and the linebacker, who is too slow to guard the bubble from the inside position that he's in. So this is an easy read to throw to the bubble because we have a numbers advantage. Now once you throw the ball, all you have to do is beat your 1v1 matchup and you will get an easy pickup to move the chains. But if you have a defender lined up over all 3 of your receivers, you want to look at the back side. If you see that most of the defenders are shifted over to the trip side, give it to the running back. Read your blockers and you will have open grass to run through for big gains. Now the reason we are starting off with the RPO alert bubble is because if we do not like the way the defense is set up against the pass or the run, we will be able to audible down to the tight open formation by pressing X, then pressing right on the D-pad until you get to tight open. Then once you are at the formation, you have the ability to choose from any of the audible plays that we chose: slot post, bench Z spot, read option, and speed option. Now if you see that the defense is in a blitz, you can audible to slot post in the tight open formation. The way you can tell if a blitz is coming or not is by looking at the safeties. If they are within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage, generally you will see a blitz unless it's a disguise. But to beat the blitz, we are going to put 2 short man beating routes on the right by putting B on a slant and A on a zig. On the left side though, we are going to keep the routes the same. Then you can block the running back to add an extra blocker against the blitz, so we have more time to throw down the field. But if the pressure gets to you fast, you will have the slant or the zig in case you need to get the ball out quickly. Now when we snap the ball, you'll see that the blitz was blocked up, which gave us time to get out of the pocket and throw a laser to the elite man beating post route for a touchdown. But one thing I want you to be wary of is the defender that was manned up on the running back. Because the running back did not go out for a route, the defender that was manned on him now turns into a zone defender, which is why I waited an extra second to throw the ball so he can get away from that zone defender that was once manned up on the running back. So against a blitz, it's important to understand route spacing and routes that beat man coverage. If your route spacing is bad, meaning the receivers are running routes too close to each other, it will be hard to gain enough separation from defenders, and you can allow a defender or the user to guard 2 routes at once. Another way you can beat man defense in this play is by motioning the slot receiver on a post over to create a bunch look, which will turn the post into a corner. Then put B on a zig and A on a slant and the running back on an outside table route. The goal here is to read the corner route. If he creates enough separation, lead pass him away from the defender for an easy touchdown. If he is not open, you will have the zig route to check it down to. What also makes this play so great though is the route spacing. Because we have so many routes that are a threat against man defense, if the user guards one route, it is inevitable that other routes away from the user will be open. Against a zone though, we're going to look at bench Z spot. Out of bench Z spot, we're going to create a flood concept by motioning the outside wide receiver over and putting him on a vertical. Then on the backside, we will put Y on a slant and X on a zig in case we need to check the ball down. Now in this flood concept, my reads were the safety, the corner, and the slot corner. If the safety stayed back and the corner dropped back, I would just dump the ball off to the running back in the flat. But when I snap the ball, you will see that the slot corner blitzed, which is a tell that it's DB fire 2 out of $, which means that all we have to do now is read the safety and the corner. You will see that the corner stayed in his flat zone to guard the running back, and the deep half safety was occupied by the corner route, which left the vertical route wide open in the back of the end zone. This is an excellent zone beater, especially against cover 2, because if the flat defender stays down, The deep half safety will be unable to guard two routes that are spaced out away from each other. So route spacing is just as important in zone than it is in man. Another way you can run this play is by motioning the wide receiver over, putting B on a slant and X on a zig. And if your opponent is in a man defense, read what cutting route gets open. In this case, it was the slant that has yards of open space. And if you have to get rid of the ball quickly, you will have the zig and the flat route to watch for a check down. But now let's get into more runs. So let's talk about the speed option. The speed option makes the defense have to guard two players, the QB and the running back. If you see that the DN crashes towards the QB, press LB to pitch it to the running back and try to get to the outside where you can make spicy moves for big runs and touchdowns. We will also be utilizing the read option. In this play, you can either keep the ball with the QB or hold A to give it to the running back. If there is no set player to read, watch the furthest D lineman to the outside and the slot corner. If they crash towards the outside, give the ball to the running back. And to better your run game, you need to be able to read your blocks correctly by understanding where your blockers are and what leverage they have. So when the running back got the ball, the left guard went to block the linebacker. Now you'll see that when the left guard was about to engage with the block, he turned his body to the left to kick the linebacker out of the hole in the middle. So now we have two holes to choose from, but the one you need to choose is the one where the left guard is pushing the defender away. So I took the open hole in the middle. Then, once I took the hole in the middle, I saw Kelsey was blocking one of the safeties, the third level defender, and he was blocking him towards the middle of the field. So I made a cut to the outside. So usually when you see the backs of players, you want to go to that side where his back is pointing. So that's why I made a cut to the outside, away from the defender, and broke out for an easy touchdown. Now that is the scheme I got for you today in the Chiefs playbook. Let me know what you think and how it works for you. I'll see you next video.